Forever The Sickest Kids, and your eyes are viewing Eric live on air.
I'm here with Forever The Sickest Kids. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, man, my name's Kyle.
Jonathan.
Caleb. I'm Austin.
Now you guys have been around for a little bit at this point. How many years is it that you guys have been?
6 years.
So you've been on Warped Tour how many times at this point?
This is our 4th year on Warped Tour.
So you guys are a bit of veterans of it, you know, as you expect. I mean, how has it changed since your first Warped Tour experience?
Every time you play Warped Tour, the music genres, different things are popular: pop, metal, country, rock pop, country pop, it all changes. So this year it seems to be more of a heavy metal breakdown type tour, and despite all that music that's out here, we're one of the pop bands on one of the pop stages, so it feels good to be out here, man. And tell you what, man, it doesn't matter what kind of music you make, everyone's getting along, everybody's out here for the same reason, and that's just to see a bunch of fans in one small amount of time.
And you guys just put out your new album, J.A.C.K. I watched that interview. I still think there was a little bit of weirdness happening there, where she mentioned that. I don't know, it just seems a little odd that she would know it was Jack.
Oh, that, yeah, thank you.
I don't know.
What about the interview from South by?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
I'll never have my buddies full support on that.
Look, I can't say that me sitting around looking at all your names would be like, oh, Jack. This stands out to me.
Some people are still confused by the title, and every now and then we have to refresh new people coming along that what the title actually means.
Well, I was confused at first, and then once she said it and explained it, I got it.
Yeah, Jonathan, Austin, Caleb, Kyle, J.A.C.K. Acronym.
Well, so how did it end up being that they agreed to it? Did you have to twist their arms a little bit?
When it was time to pick a name, I think we all kind of felt like that was the core, that was the 4 people that wrote the album. I felt like, you know, it just made the most sense. We had a few other names, but at the end of the day, the oil rose to the top, and Jack is what it is.
And since you've joined the Fearless family, since a little bit before the album came out, how is being on Fearless different than, you know, being part of Universal Motown or being just, you know, out there on your own?
Say being on Fearless? Sorry, I just trying to.
What's different between
It's cool because Universal was a major label, so I always like parallel it to starting up a train and it goes fast, or having a little dirt bike. So it's like we're on a dirt bike, we can do what we want. What's really cool with them is they just back our ideas. So songs we write, they back it. The way we want to look or present ourselves, our artwork, they back it. So it's kind of just a powerhouse behind us that helps push us. It's really cool. It's very good camaraderie with the label.
Thank you. And you also, I heard in an interview that you wrote 46 songs before you actually put out the album, which has how many songs again?
The album has 11 songs on it. It's kind of hard to pinpoint an exact number how many songs we wrote, but it was a lot. There was a time where I couldn't even keep up with the amount of songs everyone was writing, whether it be together as a band or, you know, separately bringing it to the band. But we still have an iTunes playlist on all of our computers that, I mean, takes up the entire screen of the songs that did and didn't make the album. But I think we chose the best 11, and they stuck on J.A.C.K.
If you want the album to have 13 songs, you just buy it on iTunes and you get an extra, and then go purchase the single Over the Moon on Amazon, and you got 13 songs.
Nice. I had the extra from iTunes. I didn't know about the one from Amazon though.
Or you buy the physical copy and there's a hidden track on there somewhere, and you get 14 songs.
So, we thought there was only 11. Apparently there's 14 somewhere out there.
Way to get 14 out of this record.
You actually wrote a song with Patrick Stump at one point. You wrote Nikki. How did you guys come together, and why ultimately wasn't he part of singing the song? I heard there was talk about him being involved.
Nikki's a song that's written about one of our actual friends named, what was his name? Drew and Nikki, and they're like kind of marriage and their codependency or whatever. So when we went to Patrick Stump, we kind of had melodies, we had concept, we had lyrics, and he's kind of like a psychologist, I guess. So anything that we'd say is like, what's a different way to say that? I remember it took about 6 hours to write the first verse. And so it's just very in-depth, very, nitty-gritty, just picking out our brains. It was a really cool experience, though.
And as far as him not being on the track, we tried, but that was actually at the beginning part of them amping up Fall Out Boy. So it was like he was so busy, it was nearly impossible to get a hold of him at that point. So
People think that guest vocals is something real easy to pull off, but with the legalities of his label owning his rights and our label owning ours, it just a lot. We would have loved to have him, and he probably would have loved to do it, but it just didn't work out. Like Caleb was saying, timing of their album release and what we had to get done and when. So.
And I know you guys were talking about being on a major label compared to Fearless, but what do you think if you could pick out some of the main differences in being on, a major label which controls you a little bit more, I'm sure, compared to being on Fearless that, I guess is more of like a supportive, just, kind of do what you want?
I'd say that, major labels do things the old school way, and although that might work for some people, the way we do things is very risky. We like to think outside the box. A major label you think is more risk averse. They don't like to take chances. They'd rather just spend a lot of money on the way that it's always worked. And so Fearless will back anything that we come to them with. This album was a big process of thinking outside the box, and I feel we got the best product we've ever put out. So.
Well, I definitely agree. I love this new album. It does remind me a lot of the first one in certain parts, and then it just reminds me of really nothing because it's just new. And then I have a game for you, and since you're all here,
Is it our new game that comes out August 1st in the iTunes and Android store?
let me just hand that over to you.
Does it happen to be the new game that we have coming out in the iTunes and Android store on August 1st?
No, you have a game coming out. Please talk more.
Yeah, we have a first-person role-playing game coming out August 1st in the iTunes store. It's called Forever The Sickest Kids Master Blaster Runner 3000. You can pick it up on your Androids or your iPhones, coming out in just about 3 weeks.
So, what exactly do you do in the game? Like, what is
Remember Mario Brothers?
Yes.
It's like Mario Brothers takes a modern twist and gets thrown in a blender with Jetpack Joyride.
So, do you play as you guys?
You can. I think you can play as us four, but to unlock certain members of the band, you have to get a certain score. And then you can dress us up with certain sneakers and unlock certain songs, and you can even make Caleb play the game with sneakers that make him float.
So, who do you have to have, or who do you get if you get the highest score?
Well, obviously the best looking member of the band.
Which is Austin.
Fair. But the game I have is the Band Superlative game. So you guys can talk a little bit about each other. So, who is the hardest person to live with in the band?
I would say Arnold.
Palmer.
He's a real jive turkey.
He's constantly in our refrigerator. Yeah. Arnold Palmer.
say, get out, get out, get out, and he just doesn't get out.
It's like he doesn't even want to listen to us.
So you won't tell me? Besides Arnold
Palmer.
Palmer.
Arnold Palmer.
Who's the second most?
I think
That
would. Everyone has their stages. Sometimes somebody's difficult to deal with. Sometimes they're not. You can't really tell. We're very, very close. So we're like a family, and I think families get in fights with one another on a regular basis. So honestly, I think the reason there's only 4 of us right now is because these are the guys that get along the best.
Most health conscious in the band.
Most health conscious. I think that bounces around, but I think right now it's Caleb.
I'd say Kyle. I'd say Kyle or myself. Not trying to put myself in the running, but yes.
It's absolutely
The best dancer.
Austin.
No doubt about it, apparently. Biggest flirt.
Say what?
Biggest flirt.
Jonathan.
Worst style.
Definitely me.
Kyle.
Most likely to get lost on the way to a show.
Caleb.
That's true. It's true.
The worst driver.
We're pretty good drivers.
No, Austin's been in the most wrecks.
No, who's gotten the most wrecks?
Austin.
I did one.
I gotta tell a story. You're pointing me out like that. We were driving along in our van and trailer, and everybody's sleeping, and Kyle's driving, and we look up, and we're going 110, and there's only fog around, and you can't see any cars, and he lost his rights to drive.
Yeah, and we were in the mountains too.
We were in the mountains. But he's a great chauffeur when there's ladies in the car. He's a great driver, drives speed limit, he's very safe.
How many wrecks have you been in? Kyle, 0.
Me, I rear-ended a Mercedes.
How many? Number.
I'm counting. Rear-ended a Mercedes on the train tracks in Salt Lake City. Wrecked my Ford truck texting and driving. Countless, probably 12.
I've scratched my bumper once or twice, but never a wreck. No.
1, I totaled my car.
You've done more than that.
Oh, 2, the van.
Let's refrain back to Kyle. I've never been in a wreck. Except one time when Jonathan ran in the back of my Jeep.
Wait, so you totaled the van?
I was in a Taco Bell parking lot, and the van, I really wanted tacos. The van couldn't make that turn, so I scraped the whole side of it.
I was driving our 31-foot motorhome on the New Jersey Turnpike and had a blowout. Sent me across 3 lanes. Did $16,000 in damage, but it wasn't my fault.
The biggest nerd in the band.
Kyle.
I'd say me. Yeah.
Why you?
I'm the techie type. I
He
think.
likes Harry Potter a lot.
I like Harry Potter.
He's the dude in the band that can be entertained by merely a laptop.
You could put a stick into a piece of dookie and he's shaking. He'd crack up. He loves it.
All right. Weirdest pre-show ritual?
Oh, torquing, without a doubt.
What?
Wick out was pretty weird.
Wick out.
Wick out is where we used to catch something on fire, and Jonathan would get a wet towel and whip out the flame with his towel.
All right. And last but not least, the biggest gossip in the band.
Gossip or gosper?
Gossip. What does that mean?
Biggest gossip.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Like the biggest gossip.
Gossip. I get. Oh, I understand.
Shares the most gossip.
I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and elect myself because I don't think any of us are really into gossiping. So, thank you.
Caleb, did you hear about August Burns Red?
No, what?
Lead singer wears his hat backwards.
Oh my God. Do you hear about Just kidding.
Nice one, dude. I thought you were gonna gossip.
Nope. Won't do it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it.
I'm hungry. Gotta give me a coconut.